Good evening, extended family and friends. Thought I would give you a little bit of an update as to where we are. Running a little bit behind the top of the hour. It turns out that's exactly how my days go anymore. But I wanted to give you a little bit of an update. As I said, we're going to be taking another let's call it 4 to 6 weeks off. We'll be taking the remainder of July and all of August. We hope to be back in September. And, I've got a lot of people saying, oh, well, yes, that I will hit the gong, even though it's not that show. Thank you for that. We'll hit the gong, even though it's not that show. A lot of people saying, "Oh, well, just gets tired of fighting, on social media. Gets tired of fighting on Facebook." And let me just say, I get up every morning, hoping that I'll come up with a creative way of losing a dozen, maybe 2 dozen people that follow me on across social media platforms. Right? It's kind of like if you ever walk into a house and there's like that mold, mildewy smell, just like that musty kind of smell, or a garage cleaning in the spring where you want to get rid of some of that smell, or you cook fish, and as you would, liver and onions to go along with it, and then there's just that stench inside of the house. It's like, do I got to steam clean the drapes? Do I do something to the carpeting? What do I got to do to get rid of that just horrid smell? Well, that's what it's like being on social media, right? You say something to offend someone, and people are leaving. So I have a goal every morning. I love it. I'm thrilled by it. I have a goal of every morning of losing 10, 20, somewhere around in there, right? Of friends or followers on Facebook, because it frees up more room for me to get cooler people such as yourselves that want to hang out and, want to trade some barbs, that have a backbone for the brawl is all I'm saying. Like there's people that get offended by everything you do and they go, well, I'll fix his wagon. I'm just going to unfriend him right now. Like it's going to send me to the bathtub with a candle, a glass of wine and some razor blades, right? Heaven help me. But no, right? So just when you're thinking, oh yeah, he's going to give it up because he's lost, he's lost this desire for the brawl. It's not that. It's basically that we think, my doctors and everyone else at the Columbus Cranium Shack and Needle Emporium, think I need a little more rest. Right? Not that I haven't, in terms of rest and relaxation, it would be enough to make Rip Van Winkle blush. But I think I need a little more rest. And as you may have picked up on just in this opening couple of minutes, I wanted to share with you, I'm calling it my top 8, but I just wanted to share with you the list of some of the things that are happening that are leading the people around me to go, yeah, we think you need a little more sleep to recover from, your fifth brain surgery. And it may be all that exposure to anesthesia, all the antibiotics, whatever it is. Here's what my life has been like of late. It's like, although this disease doesn't exist, it's like a verbal dyslexia. It's like a poltergeist, a pig Latin that just follows me around, and it makes me say stuff like, oh, wait for it, right? It makes me say stuff like this. So the other day I was trying to explain what had happened and thinking that I was saying brain freeze. I say, unbeknownst to me, don't even know what happens, I say frame breeze. The doctor calls and says, hey, how's everything been going? And I say, I've had a cuff couple of months. And Ashley's sitting there as I say this. I've had a cuff couple of months. And she said, you mean a tough couple of months? Yeah, that's what I said. And someone's coming over to the house to look at the roof, right? And so I say to him, well, yeah, because we're thinking maybe there's a roof leak. No, a roof leak, right? Not a roof leaking, but a roof leak. So apparently what's happening is because I need more R&R, my mind is juxtaposing the beginnings of letters in terms of words, and I just can't articulate the way. And they say, yeah, it's just, it's a little bit of rest, a little more rest, a little more relaxation. You'll be back on top, right? I'm having verbal arguments with 6-year-olds and losing, right? So I said to one of my sons the other day, would it really hurt you to pick your flows up off the floor? And here's the part. I don't know I'm doing it, right? It's only when people say to me, you realize you just said flows up off the floor. I say, no, I didn't. I said flows up off the floor. I don't even know I'm doing it. I went to say goodbye to someone and I said, "Good guy," which I just think is a cooler way of saying farewell. Good guy, right? I think that's kind of cool. Oh, here's another one that I liked. I was saying when we were at the pool, okay, don't forget, grab your tool poise. Right? Clearly meant pool toys, but said, grab your tool toys, right? And game to toe. Instead of time to go, I said game to toe. And the most humbling thing about it is I don't know that I'm doing it. So clearly, some part of my brain, and you people who have known me the longest, my friends, and as I said, my extended family here, go, look, you've been abnormal ever since we met you years ago. So, but what is a little different from my abnormality is that I don't say things like, well, I'll give you this. This was the icing on a cake, waiting for some good friends of mine named Melancholy. No, stop. Waiting for my good friends. They're named Kel and Molly. Sitting on the front porch the other day, and Ashley comes out and says, what are you doing? I said, I'm waiting on Melancholy. Right? And it sounds funny, Melancholy, right? But I really wasn't saying I was waiting on Kel and Molly, but I said Melancholy. So I was like, all right, you guys win. There's clearly something with this, as I said, this form of verbal dyslexia. So I will spend even more time horizontal. I will spend even more time over the next 6 weeks just resting and recovering to see if I can't get my brain to fire. My brain to fire the way it used to. So I wanted to let you know when people say, well, why did you give up Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat, all these other things. Why did you give them up? Why did you give up? Stop answering emails. Why did you give up voicemails? Why are you no longer on your phone? We've even turned the Wi-Fi off in the house in case it's right. In case the Wi-Fi is giving me a hard time. I refuse to run around in a tinfoil cap, so I made them turn off the Wi-Fi. But for the remainder of what I hope for you is a spectacular end of July, a spectacular August. I hope it's finally summer by you, wherever you are. I'm going to take the next, as I say, 4 to 6 weeks off and try to get back on top of my newfound ability to pronounce the English language and go from there. So I wanted to thank everybody for all the notes, the letters, the cards, all the good wishes. Oh, we'll probably leave the GoFundMe up for till the end of July, maybe mid-August, but most certainly till the end of July. So for everyone that's contributed, for everyone that shared the story, I can't thank you enough. It's given me the ability to recover to the degree that I have. So technically, I blame you all, right? That I've been able to recover to this degree, and I can't pronounce the English language anymore to save my life. And people go, oh, well, that's cultural appropriation if you decide to start speaking another language because, right, I was born here. But we're going to keep the GoFundMe up and going. So if you feel so inclined and you want to share this story and spread it around, we would truly appreciate it because it's been a huge help to date. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Sorry that we're late this evening. But again, I just wanted to thank you for everything and let you know I simply refuse to lose. However the words may come out, in my mind, it's still straight, right? In my mind, I still think I'm articulating. What's the funny thing about doing radio and speeches and public appearances? They kind of want you to be able to speak, right? As much as I love Yiddish, they want you to be able to speak the language, and for some reason, I'm having a cuff Touple, as I've said, a cuff Touple of months. So thank you all so very much for everything. I super appreciate it. We're going to power down here when we're done, and hope to be back with a more, a little less bats in the belfry, a little less cognitive cotton candy, a little less neuronal spider webs, so that I can finally, lose this sense of an encroaching confusion that seems to be bordering me at all levels now. It seems to be bordering me when it comes to what I needed to battle back. I didn't expect that one thing to turn its back on me. So I thank you all very much again. I hope to see you in September. And as I said, thank you for everything that you've done for us. And thanks for listening. Thanks for all of the follow-up. If you get a chance to share the story around again, thank you very much. And I hope to see you in September. Have an absolutely spectacular rest of your summer. And just thank you all so very much for everything. We'll see you soon. I hope. We will. I just might not remember it, but we'll see you soon. Farewell.